Alright, here's a quiz. How many pieces of equipment need to be touched or worked on for hay season 2019? Ready? Go. All right, did you get all that? There's a lot of it's kind of piled up. So we have the 2 hay baskets, the hay vine right here, which still needs a little bit more work done to it. Well, technically that baler does too, because I'm trying to sell it. Okay, so you can't see the sickle bar way down there. That also needs to be worked on. Hay elevator, that's 6. That hay rake should be good, so that it doesn't need to be worked on, but technically that's hay equipment, so that would be 7. Tedder, 8. Hay rake, 9. Tractor, 10. And main baler down there, 11. No, that tire doesn't go on that baler, that tire goes on that baler. Hey, Moisey. So I have got a crap ton of stuff to do. Fortunately, that baler and the other sickle bar down there I don't have to worry about this week per se. But I've got a lot of other stuff to do. I just finished greasing the hay rake. Well, okay, I still gotta do the wheels up there, but I need to get a ladder for that. You know, because being short, kind of can't reach that high. With this, I was kind of looking it over. This only has like a handful of greasers, so it's very low maintenance, but this is the gearbox. I noticed that it had a lot of, oh shoot, where'd it go? There. Yeah, a lot of grease down there. And I don't think that's from a greaser, because I think that's actually from the gearbox. Unfortunately, I don't see any way of filling the gearbox. It seems like I had this problem last time when I looked at it, so definitely gonna need a manual for that one. I think I have it. And also the tires are flat on this. So hopefully we won't need to use it this week, but it'd be good to have it ready in case we do. Tractor needs to be washed, obviously. Still dirty from maple syrup season. Every warm day we've had, I pretty much haven't been home, so I haven't been able to wash it. I still gotta work on the baler, which is the big one. That's the one that gives me anxiety, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong on that. And we just had it worked on last year. And yes, I took your advice and blocked the wheels on that thing and tried to cover it in a tarp, probably like 4 different times. Oh yeah, and the hay elevator, that's gonna, obviously it needs a tire because it's leaning, but that's a whole nother story. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna take me all day just to service this thing, but I want to make sure it's done correctly. And then after I go through and do everything that I can see visually, then I'm gonna go through the manual and walk through it with the manual just to make sure I didn't forget anything. one thing I remember from the manual, it says be careful not to over grease because some of these parts will actually fail if you get grease in them. Like right here, this one has grease in it somehow, which I'm not quite sure why. Actually, it was New Holland that serviced this last, so I'm hoping they didn't go too heavy on the grease because we might have to go through and take a little bit of that down. I'm starting back here and then we'll work our way around with all of the grease zerks. Alright, so we got everything in here greased. There's grease zerks down there. There's some back in there. There's some in there. I still gotta check in here, I think. I think there's might be some in there. Oh, I see one I missed right here. See that guy? That's how easy it is to miss these things. You have to literally open every panel in here so you don't miss these things. Okay. But I have this open right now. There's also one down here that you don't want to miss right here. Now it's easy to miss this guy. Oh, there's one right here. I have no idea how I'm going to get to that guy. I don't know if that guy's ever been even greased. I bet he's probably plugged. So we definitely better get him ungreased and unplugged. Alright, so that needs some grease. And then this guy is going to be serviced. See, there's our little plug right here. But there's a fill plug right up there with the vent. You can see just a little bit of grease coming out around there. Oh, here's a drain plug. That's definitely a drain plug. You can see it's draining. So then we've got a million chains that we have to go through and lube. Yep, this one definitely was the one that I don't think I've ever been able to grease since we bought this baler, which was, this will be our 3rd year. So I know you can remove these grease zerks, but on some of this older equipment, it's a little dicey. Alright, so surprisingly, it actually unscrewed really easily. Just use a little tiny little ratchet, 8mm. And man, I thought I was really gonna have to riff on it, but nope. I'm gonna take our little pin and wipe it on my pant leg because that's where everything gets wiped. Now we're just gonna swab. And you can see my new grease is in there, but just doesn't seem like it's really going anywhere. It's definitely all purple. This does not appear to be clogged at all. I'm gonna run the needle through it just to check, and then I'm gonna screw it back on. Good news, it worked. I don't know if it was from clearing out the inside of that or clearing out the zerk itself, but I screwed it back on. I was careful not to over tighten it since it wasn't on crazy tight anyway. Eric just informed me this year that you can remove grease zerks to clean them out, which I had no idea. I thought they were permanent. So anyway, that worked. Great. So on to the next item. Alright, we're back here. You know, I was looking at this and it suddenly occurred to me that this is a diagram for filling this whole unit. It's supposed to say SAE 90, which is the same thing as our John Deere hay cutter. So it shows it to fill. See, that's the check valve right there. I think it's a check, and I think that up there is the fill. So that would be our check. What do you think? Do you think this thing's gonna be too full? Do you think it's gonna be not full enough? Or do you think it's gonna be just right? I honestly don't remember. And I don't see anything coming out just yet. I'm going slow because I don't have my funnel right here handy. And okay. Alright. So we know that that one is over full. Now it does say to fill to that fill plug, but I gotta go back and read the manual quick just to double check because I don't want to drain that out and then have to add more to it. Alright, so I decided to let this drain out anyway. You can see that it's kind of going in like almost chunks. Or like some of it seems like it's more liquefied and some of it's a little more gelatinous. I don't know. It just doesn't look like happy gear lube to me. It looks kind of upset and possibly constipated. So you can see that it's got a lot of the metal shards in there, the little tiny sparkles. Maybe you can't see it. Yeah, I think this needs to come out because the lubricant that comes straight out of that is a lot thinner, and this is just, it looks like snot and other stuff I won't mention. Alright, so we're skipping this guy and we're just gonna go to this guy. It says to drain it every year anyway, so that, I guess, is what we're gonna do. Judging by the grease coming out of here, it's got a lot of gear lube in it. And judging by this, I made a big mess the last time. I'm not sure why I filled it so far, except that I probably went off the old baler manual because I didn't have a manual at that time for this one. So I might have filled it like 3 inches from the top, would be my guess. Hi, kitty. Hi. What can matter? All right, guys. I'm not gonna lie, this might get ugly. Oh my gosh, kinda scared. Kinda scared. Ooh, there goes. I realized you guys mentioned that the type of gear loop we're using is not the best quality out there. So we will be using different stuff next year, but I gotta use this stuff up at least. And maybe this is the results of the crappy stuff I put in last year, I don't know. And some of you guys had mentioned to do this in the fall, and you are actually correct. The manual suggested in the fall simply because you're not going to have a bunch of dust blown into everything that you just greased. And it also keeps everything from getting rusted up over winter time. So I think I'll do this again in the winter, or in the fall. Just go through and grease everything and clean everything off. I think I'll wait and change this in the springtime still. Okay, so let's get up in here. Whew. Oh gosh, this one does not want to move. Alright, so I have this set up to catch any residual drip. So we've got the check valve off, so it should start draining out the side when it gets to be full. Okay, funnel in. Oh, it's a slow drizzle. I can see it on the back end. Alright, so we got that all screwed back together and the oil fluid level checked on that. Alright, so we got everything greased in here. I'll show this real quick. If you have a similar sort of baler, one thing that's worth noting is when you open this, underneath here, this hole right here, there is a grease zerk in there that you actually have to use this hole to get to. Unless you have a really bendy grease gun. That's one I'm sure I missed in years previous, so I'm glad I looked at the manual and got that one. It almost looks like that should take a grease zerk right there, doesn't it? I better just double check on that one again. I know I went through and got everything that I could see, but it just looks like, I don't know, maybe it should have one. Maybe that one too, but maybe they just have holes for some reason. This one I think was supposed to have a grease zerk, but it was missing, so I sprayed some lithium grease down in there. That one I did. The ones up there on that thing I did. Let's see, I think this guy is supposed to stay dry. Some of these get grease and some of these get grease gun. There's one back there that I got. I don't think there's any down in there. I might go ahead and, well, I can't even spray anything on this guy because he's bolted in. It'd be pretty hard to reach down in there and spray him. You don't want to get it on the belt. That's the biggest thing. So, this, you actually are supposed to put used motor oil on to grease it, which is interesting because I know a lot of you guys had said that. I thought it was just like a way of cheating so you don't have to use a bunch of oil, but nope, that's what it is. So this didn't want to blow off very good. Probably would have to go through and, I wonder what this is down here. Looks like a little access cover for something. So anyway, yeah, we have grease zerks there. We got, now it's worth noticing it's worth noting that each side has exactly 7 zerks. So this side has 7 and that side has 7. However, I cannot find number 2, which was supposed to be back here somewhere. But for the life of me, I cannot find it. So I'm gonna have to like climb up in there to look behind it. It's in the back somewhere, but I can't see it. Cause see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I did 7. Okay, yeah, I got them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I got them. For some reason, I couldn't count earlier. I guess. So, lastly, we have to check the tire pressure. Now, I do have the tires on blacks, as it was suggested last year, to help take the stress off the tires, which I thought was a pretty good idea. I do want to just double check in here quick, just to make sure everything is cool in there. Here's the front in here. This is our storage box where supposedly the shear pins are supposed to be. I thought there was like a bag of shear pins in here. Bag of nuts. Oh yeah, yep. Shear pins and, well, I hope they're shear pins. Maybe they're not. I think that's a shear pin. New Holland, so must be. Must be. Ideally this would be nice to vacuum out, but I might just scrape it out with my hand because there's a lot of crap in there. Anyway, that all looks pretty good. Maybe I'll take some lithium and just squirt the little sprockets in there a little bit. But now it's raining, so I think the last couple things you want to do is pack the wheel bearings, which you really need to get going on with all of the equipment. I need just a day to pack wheel bearings, but so anyway, now that it's downpouring, oh yeah, and this happened the other day. So Eric ran it. It's running pretty good. If it stays running, I don't know, but hopefully it will. So we're gonna shoot the hay up into the loft. Once we get the first half filled, we're gonna pull it out and then bring it in this door and point it at that corner right there, and then fill up the rest of it. And then we're gonna pivot it and fill up this back corner full of hay. So this holds about 500. And I need to put, I don't know, maybe another 400 to 500 right there-ish. So we'll see. We should be able to get all of first cutting in the barn at the very least. Hope you guys have a great week. Best of luck if you are making hay. If you're in Michigan making hay, well, God be with you, because it's not been good. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe because hay season is exciting this year. Yay!